What's going on, sports fans? This is Jake Waxman.
And Tyler Lavalette.
Welcoming you to WTV 10 here in Waterford with another Friday Roundtable. It's a lovely Friday, so we'll start by talking about some baseball. Tyler Lavalette, take it away.
Well, not so lovely news for the Tigers. They are below 500, a game and a half behind Cleveland in the AL Central standings, dealing with plenty of injuries in both the batting lineup with guys like Javi Baez and Zach McKinstry out, as well as the many woes in the bullpen and starting rotation, not least of which is guys like Justin Verlander being out and Tarek for a bit, and Tarek Skubal needing replacement on something called loose arms. But apparently that surgery is going to be going good. It's going to take long for recovery, so the timeline might, from what we're hearing, get better with his return. But we'll have to just wait and see on that. It's a bit of a struggle and survive type of a situation right now. We keep saying baseball is a marathon and not a sprint for a good reason. I know there are times to panic right now in the Motor City, but keep the coolness in check. Oh, and Framber Valdez, what you did on Tuesday night against the Red Sox and Trevor Story was not good. The history you had with that is not, with hitting guys is not something to be appreciative about, and hope you enjoy that long suspension you got. And yeah, also they got swept by the Red Sox too.
Well, to put it, as Tyler said, put it plainly, it's a less than ideal start for the Detroit Tigers this season. Currently, here's the weird thing. So the bad news is if you're a Tigers fan, you're 18-20 at the moment. You're below .500 But here's and despite all the things that are going wrong, you got all the injuries, Skubal probably going to miss some time, and obviously, as Tyler mentioned, getting swept by the Red Sox. There is some good news about this. Despite the fact that they're below .500, Detroit actually sits second in the AL Central as we speak. And I took a good look at the MLB standings yesterday in preparation for today's Friday Roundtable. And here's the thing. If the season were to end today, believe it or not, the Tigers would still be in the postseason. Isn't that crazy? If the season were to end, meet your 18-20 Detroit Tigers, a playoff team. Because the crazy thing is, the AL right now is really, really odd. It's, for lack of better words, not as strong right now as the National League, because there's only 4 teams that I know of that have a winning record right now. That is, okay, that's bonkers. That is just absolute bonkers.
Well, I think the problem could very well be that some teams front load this April with interleague matchups. The Tigers did, for example, so that likely had some part of it to do. Though unfortunately, there's no more difference between NL and AL anymore because of the NL having the DH. But even still, it's just bizarre that the AL Central is a total joke right now. Below 500, teams are still close together, and the Tigers could still be in the playoffs with a losing record if things were to stand right now. Like, what? And we're dealing with guys in the infirmary. Like, make sense of this.
Imagine that the Tigers get into the playoffs, like literally either at directly at .500 or below .500. It could be quite possible. Although, if I was a Tigers fan, I would be thankful this season is a marathon. Because, look, you'd rather get into the playoffs at least above .500. Mm-hmm. But I'm just trying to help you Tigers fans out there feel encouraged, because in spite of sitting at 18-20, the rest of a good chunk of the AL right now, or the American League, is not doing so hot right now. And as Tyler mentioned, and something I probably overlooked too, is the matchups that they've scheduled. But it's just, the American League just looks drunk right now, for lack of better words. It just looks drunk.
But of course, ironically, the NL has the three teams that have connections to the beer industry. You got the Brewers in Milwaukee with home to Miller. You got the Rockies in Colorado with Coors. And St. Louis has the long-standing history of Anheuser-Busch.
Of course, all those brands and whatnot. And
If anyone's gonna be drunk, it's an NL.
I would think it was one of those 3 NL teams that Tyler was talking about.
Although I think the Brewers haven't been doing too well, so maybe they're on
that's
that.
a little too much Miller there in Milwaukee, huh?
No, it could be the Yingling that just got imported in to them in Iowa from Pennsylvania. I don't know.
You gotta watch out for that Yingling, man. You gotta watch out for those foreign brands, man. You never know what they'll do to your system.
Well, it's Yingling's Pennsylvania, so it's domestic beer. But regardless of the point, jokes aside, we keep saying it's a long season so yeah, let's not panic too much. I know people are angry at Hintz and Scott Harris right now, and that the rotation is not doing all that off to snuff. But here's the thing: it's better to get to somewhat have your injuries early on than to be struggling when you're in August and September when you get past the All-Star break.
No doubt about that. And I'll just add to this. Just if you're the Tigers, just keep your heads down, concentrate, and pray that Scooball's surgery only keeps him out for a few weeks. Because for the Tigers, Scooball, big key to success this season.
You're going up in Kansas City this weekend, so a good opportunity to maybe get some gains in the Central right now, but we'll see what happens.
And indeed we shall. And then, of course, as me and Tyler were talking about the NL side of things, all right, you guys know me. I'm biased for my Cubs, so we'll talk about the Cubs, and they are looking mighty good to start the season. They're on top of the NL Central with a record of 26-12, and so right now, I think in terms of the best record in the league, I could be wrong about this. They're actually got the same record as the Yankees and the Braves.
Yep, that sounds correct. The only AL team, one of the few AL teams winning with a winning record, are the Pinstripes. Although those guys got the Tampa Bay Rays on their heels, so anything's possible in AL East. But yeah, the Braves are doing great in the NL East, no questions asked. It feels like a resurgence of the 90s and 2000s NL East division winning days.
And also, let's keep in mind the Braves a couple of years ago won the World Series, so they're not too far removed from that. And so as we talk about the NL, I mentioned the Cubs. So they swept the Reds they swept the 3-game series with the Reds, and that second game between the Cubs and the Reds, that was a wild one. Went into extra innings, and the Cubs were able to just pull that one, or pull a rabbit out of the hat, if you will, and win that game against the Reds. They've got a very challenging stretch coming up, though, for the Chicago Cubs. Their next 3 series, all road series. They're gonna start tonight with this 3 road series stretch, starting at Texas, and for 3 games, next 3 games, they get to play the Atlanta Braves that me and Tyler were just talking about. That's going to be a good series. Fortunately, though, for as tough as this whole road trip is for the Cubs, their last road trip really isn't all that much of the road trip. They only got to travel south side to play the White Sox for the 3rd and final road series in this road series stretch that's coming up. And how about this? I want to give credit to a news site called MSN. They were talking about the Cubs. They had an article about a specific type of history that the Cubs were making. Get this. According to MSN, the Cubs have not 1, but 2 9-game winning streaks early this season. And making the Chicago Cubs the first team since, how about this, the 1955 Brooklyn Dodgers. The Cubs are the first team since the Brooklyn Dodgers of 55 to have multiple 9-game winning streaks in the first 38 games of this season.
Them bums from Brooklyn, as they called them. But here's the thing. They played like only 154 games that year. They didn't go 162 until the early 60s, 61 for the AL, 62 for the NL, based on expansions. And the Dodgers, they won the only World Series that year in Brooklyn. So anything's possible.
Oh, thank you, Tyler. You got me now more hopeful. If you're a Cubs fan like me, you're hoping history repeats itself, and this is just the first step. And what you're hoping will be not only a World Series appearance for the Cubs, but another World Series victory. Time will tell, of course. But this is a really, really great start for the Cubs. And having 2 9-game winning streaks in the first 38 games, that's not easy to do. And putting together a winning streak of 9 games is not easy in general. It's impressive when any baseball team in the MLB can string together that many wins in a row. But
what's also crazy is they're constantly doing well at home. Those friendly confines are living up to their name for a reason.
Yeah, I don't think for right now, nobody wants to go to Wrigley and nobody wants to have the ivy to their backs. Let's just go with that. Something lethal about that ivy.
And the brick behind it. Let's not forget about that. That wall is grandfathered in by MLB standards because of its padding is non-existent. Even Cubs players have run into that, into the vines and the brick wall. It's not pretty.
Ouch. So just word of advice for all baseball players out there: if you're going to make a catch, make sure you know where that brick wall is, and don't run into a brick wall. We all heard the saying "run through a brick wall" for someone, but just don't. You do not actually want to run into a brick wall. It will hurt. That's about all I know. So, Tigers and Cubs at different junctures in the season. But there's still a whole lot of season to go. I'm hoping the Cubs can maintain this momentum and, ride it not only into the playoffs, but into a World Series appearance. And if you're the Tigers, there's still a lot of time to get things right and get hot at the right time. It's a sluggish start, but you know what? Number of different things happening, and it's a marathon of a season.
Mm-hmm. That it is. Plenty of season left to go.
Yes, indeed. So, sports fans, we hope you're enjoying the baseball as much as me and Tyler are. But we're going to shift gears now to, all right, sports fans, I hate to do this to you. I know you didn't want me to talk about it, but I got to do it. It's official. The NCAA tournament is expanding. And me and Tyler are going to give you an opening look into the new version, or basically the sports version of Frankenstein's monster. Can we see the first clip, please? So here it is. This is the new bracket. So instead of a first 4, it's a first 24 now. So, and sports fans, you can always rewatch this and go back and pause it if you need to learn more about it. And this bracket is printed online, but I'll explain more to you as we're following along. So 2 parts of the bracket get 4 of these teams, while the other 2 get 2 of these teams. So here it is again. So 12v12, 12v12, 11v. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm getting tongue-tied. And again, I apologize for the quality of this video and for being so quick on this too. If you watch this video and you still don't understand anything about this bracket, sports fans, I don't blame you. Because you know what? I'm still learning too. I don't get this either. I feel like a nuke just went off in my brain watching this, and every time I look at it, a nuclear bomb just goes off in my brain. So here's the format. So 24 total teams in the opening round. 6 at-large. There are 6 at-large games and 6 automatic qualifier games. So 12 total games, or 12 teams are going to advance from this new first 4. It's not the first 4 anymore. It's now the first 24, or the opening round, as the NCAA is calling it. So we got 2 16 versus 16 games, 1 15 versus 15 game, and 2 12 versus 12. Actually, okay. I'm just getting tongue-tied. So the bottom line is 24 total teams are going to be in this new round of 4, or first 4, now the opening round, and 12 are going to advance. And they're going to be set up across different parts of the bracket. So one side of the bracket is going to have like 4 of these teams, and then another's going to have 4, and then the other 2 are going to have just 2 total, or 4 combined. So, sports fans, I know that's a lot to take in, and believe me, like I said, I'm still learning. All right, Tyler, I'll let you exercise your thoughts while I cool down on this.
My brain. My poor brain.
You okay over there, Tyler? You okay? You gonna be okay? Because
I just hear my brain. It hurts. Okay, not really. It doesn't hurt. It's just trying to keep up with that. Just wow. We talked about this last week, and when I saw this get posted, hear about it announced on social media, I just knew we were going to talk about this. Foregone conclusion, I know. And from what I've been seeing online, not even the broadcasters wanted this. When the broadcast partners don't want something, did they really think this was a good idea? And one of the things that was allowed because they had to allow official alcohol sponsors of all things as an approval. The fact that the current partners don't want it, it speaks volumes. And here's the thing. There's a factor we don't know. Who else is going to be, what stadium is hosting some of the games? 3 of them are going to be in Dayton. Of the games are in Dayton, Ohio, traditionally, like the first 4. But 3 games are at a venue to be determined. Please don't be Vegas.
okay, sports fans, I know. And Tyler, I understand that was a lot to take in, all right? I feel your pain there. And Tyler, if you don't understand this bracket, it is okay because I don't either, and neither does the rest of anyone who has basketball knowledge. Nobody with ball knowledge asked for this. Like Tyler said, this is no. Okay, so I'm going to try this again. So we got 24 total teams. 12 are going to advance. So we've got a total of, so we got 2 16 versus 16, or 4 16 versus 16s, 4 12 versus 12s, and 2 15 versus 15 seeds, and then 2 11 versus 11 seeds. I hope I got it right this time, because if I didn't, yeah, my brain shot. Literally, that's what looking at this new bracket has done to me. Oh, by the way, the women's bracket is also the same. They too have taken on the same format as the men's side. So if you like women's basketball, you don't like this the bracket, I understand too. Literally, this thing is, my brain's shot. Literally, shot. Literally, what this really is a lot of different things. I call it a Frankenstein's monster. That's
right. Literally
what this is. It's like somebody played around way too much with this, and it is going to take so long for even a person who watches a lot of college basketball to learn or to just get used to. Get ready for this. Are those 12 versus 5 matchups? I mean, it's still going to be 12 versus 5s from what I understand, but get ready. Those 12 versus 5s are going to be a whole lot different. It's not going to be like a number 12 High Point versus a number 5 number 5 Wisconsin. Get ready. Oh boy. Brace yourselves for this. I mean, not saying this will happen, but get ready for, say, a number 12 Indiana versus, say, a number 5, thinking of a name, number 5 Arkansas. Wrap your head around that. How's that really the truest of 5-12 games?
How? Seriously. How? I'm speechless again. It's just... I'm struggling with what to say here on this one as much as you are. Believe me. Like I kept saying, my mind getting scrambled pretty bad was not good, trying to just keep up with that one. But here's the thing. If you're going to still take part in doing the brackets, you still don't have to, you won't have to worry about it being done early. It's still going to the cutoff is still going to be at noon on the first Thursday of the tournament. So there's some relief there. The nucleus of the tournament is still intact as it is. There's at least that consolation to look forward to. Here, but still, this is just a lot to take in.
Yeah.
We just have to get used to it now. I just hope college football doesn't go to a 2014 playoff and it gets rid of the conference championships.
Oh, man. All right, so one of the things that worries me the most about adding this 76 to this new field, of course, as Tyler just said, is when the tournament holding starts on Thursday, when the real action starts on Thursday, it's going to be 64 teams. That is not going to change. That's the good news. We just got more teams in the field. We got 24 teams, and 12 of them are going to advance to the field of 64. That's pretty much all this is. But one thing that worries me about this big change is how it's going to affect the start of the regular season. Are we going to have to start in October now to account for adding more games to the NCAA tournament? That's kind of one of the things I have been wondering. And of course, our teams, are we going to see teams? I mean, no doubt we're probably going to see some teams who really in years past would not even get even close to sniffing the field. But we might even see teams with under 500 get, like, say, a automatic bid. Because at large, of course, that means you're pretty much in. But automatic means you, won a tournament. So with that being said, yeah. Think of it right now, this whole tournament, especially the changes that they made, it's making my brain feel like scrambled eggs right now, for lack of better words. And mind you, I like scrambled eggs, okay? I like scrambled eggs, omelets, but I don't like my mind to feel like it's all scrambled all over the place. And for sports fans, I do apologize for any misinformation on the new format of the NCAA tournament. Just trying to show you and tell you what exactly it is, but even I, like a whole lot, or the rest of America, in my opinion, are still trying to figure out what the heck this all is.
Believe me, I've struggled too. So that makes two of us, Jake.
Yep, and like I said, sports fans and Tyler, I don't blame you if you guys don't understand it, because you know what? I don't either. I'm more likely to just hurl before I figure this out. That's all I got to say.
Just please, not right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it right now. I swear. Not on the set. Can't do that. That's against the rules. But here it is, sports fans. It is official. The NCAA tournament format for both the men's and the women's side has changed. And all I got to say is, you know what? Best of luck wrapping your head around it. And if you don't figure it out, nobody's going to fault you for it, because nobody wanted this. Not even the Giants of basketball wanted this. Just the NCAA. Because what they really want? Money.
That they do.
Oh, man. All right. I need to... we're going to shift gears now before my brain actually goes nuclear on set.
Yeah, let's please not.
All right. Now we'll go to something more positive. The Stanley Cup Playoffs. Things are getting fun. So we got 2 games tonight. We got... The next game, we got Game 3 between the Golden Knights and those Ducks from Anaheim, who are looking like the mighty Ducks of Anaheim. They've got that series. That series is tied at 1 game apiece, and to my surprise, this is a series that really could go to 7 games. This mighty Ducks team, they're young, but there's talent, and there is determination. There's focus there.
That is something quite impressive to take to the Knights there. That's still crazy. Although on the East, you have some concerns that Flyers and Hurricanes series could be 4 and done. You could be looking at a sweep in that one, and the Hurricanes might be waiting a long time for their final ECF game if nothing happens, and barring a Flyers win. Yeah,
the Flyers. It looks like if nothing if they don't make some radical changes right now, if they, it's desperation time for Philly. If they don't make some huge changes, or they don't come out with a lot of energy tomorrow, 4 games is all it will have taken to pretty much ground the Flyers. And granted, they've had a good season regardless of what happens. made the playoffs, won a playoff series for the first time in a long time, in quite a few years, and you made it to the second round. So there's nothing to be disappointed about. But if you want to do more than just win a playoff series, it's go time. It's desperation time. Time to bring out those afterburners, Philly, and bring out those barnstormers. It's time to get physical with these Hurricanes. You got to take the Storm to the Carolina Hurricanes if you want to have a chance to go further in the playoffs.
That you do. And we got some other matches to go after too, right?
That is correct. Canadians and the Buffalo Sabres. How about this? Buffalo. They're the feel-good story of this year's playoff, if you ask me. I'm rooting for Buffalo to come out of the East. So many years of struggle, so many years of pain, frustration, going nowhere or going in circles, running into walls with rebuilds. But finally, here they are back in the playoffs. They knocked out the Bruins last week, and now they're up 1-0 on the Canadians, and they're looking to go up 2-0. Those Sabres, they're not just some team that that is happy to be here in the playoffs. They could do some damage. They could make a run to the Stanley Cup Finals. It is possible for the Sabres team because they look good right now.
That's pretty impressive for them.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, feel-good story of the playoffs right now, the Sabres, and so they're Canadians and Sabres playing tonight, Game 2, as well as the Golden Knights and the Ducks. They're playing in Game 3. Those are the two series you will see tonight. And then before, of course, can't forget about all the firepower of the Avalanche and the Wild series right now. Woo! That series is spicy right now. If you love goals being scored in a series, you love this Avalanche and Wild series. First game, I think Game 1 it was, there were a combined total, get this, of 17 goals between the two teams in Game 1, with the Avalanche winning 9-6, and then the Avalanche had 5 goals in Game 2 to go up 2-0 in the series. So Minnesota's got some work to do defensively. They got to slow down this juggernaut of an offense that the Colorado Avalanche have right now, because the Avs are a scoring machine. Look out, everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive there for the Avs.
Mm-hmm. So pretty much there's plenty of storylines here. Of course, we talk again, just a quick recap. Buffalo Sabres right now, the feel-good story of the playoffs. Ducks might just have the firepower. They give the Golden Knights a run for their money. And Flyers, man, it's the Flyers, it's now or never. It's either time to take off or stay grounded in round 2. And then to wrap it up, does Minnesota have any answers for the scoring juggernaut of Nathan McKinnon and the Colorado Avalanche? To be determined.
Plenty of fun in hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs still.
Yes, sir. All right. Before we close out this episode, Tyler, I think, did someone pass away or something?
Well, regrettably, yesterday we lost Pat Caputo to cancer. I think he was 67, in his mid-upper 60s. He was a reporter for the Oakland Press and also was famously a reporter on hosted shows on 97.1 The Ticket. Long battle with cancer. May he rest in peace.
And my thoughts and prayers are with his family at this time. And I remember reading a few of those Oakland Presses when I was at Oakland University. They actually passed them around. It's really sad to hear about someone who was so devoted to his craft pass away, even regardless of what the timing is. It's tough to hear news like this, whether it's in the sports world or beyond. So thinking about his family and these times.
Also, in good news, the Detroit Pistons won last night. They are now up on the Cleveland Cavaliers 2-0, and don't have to wait long to play them again, as they will be playing tomorrow afternoon in Cleveland.
There you go. Big opportunity. All right, Detroit. Hey, they had to fight past the Orlando Magic, or at least take the magic away from the Magic.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know that's a really bad pun, but they found a way to win that series, and now Detroit looks like they're off to a much faster start against this Cleveland Cavaliers team. Just gotta, keep your foot on the gas. Gotta keep that horsepower up high. Motown, That's where I'll leave it at that. But Pistons looking pretty good to start the second round of the NBA playoffs and maybe make a run to the finals.
Yep, that should be interesting. Go Pistons.
All right, on to it's time for this week's golden moment in sports. Golden moment? How about I give you some golden tempo instead? Cue the clip, please.
He's already starting to move now down the backside. He was 5 or 6.
So for those of you who don't know, this was the Kentucky Derby last weekend, and Golden Tempo's historic rally to Kentucky Derby immortality. He was way off the pace too. Like he was way far behind, especially going into the stretch. And
what a tremendous kick by Golden Tempo. That's a lot of
all alone in that lane, he makes up all that time.
He's 7 or 8 lengths back at the top of the stretch still. The numbers on how far he ran.
Look at that birdshot view.
That's a great view too. Look at this finish. Like they're like 5-6 wide.
Dead last or second last and almost.
And Golden Temple number 19 there. And of course, the bottom of the screen had just enough in the tank to complete the rally.
Truly, Mike.
Seriously, you had that horse. If you picked that horse as to win it all, you got a good payday.
Yeah, my pick was So Happy. That didn't pan out. Of course, I didn't bet any money on the Derby or anything. I just go with picks. But yeah, I don't think I can't say I saw that one coming. That's pretty much so far the biggest upset of the year too, and in my opinion, that gets the award for biggest comeback of the year too. Because as I mentioned, Golden Tempo, he was nowhere near the lead going into the stretch, and then all of a sudden he just turned up the afterburners, and it's difficult too to make up time on that high line. Yet Golden Tempo, all alone in that high lane. Usually that's a disaster zone. Yet he just kept on moving and picking up steam. Whew. What a rally.
Yeah, seriously. That would just run for the ages there. Yeah, he won't compete in the Preakness. But, hey, won the Kentucky Derby, so there's that.
That's one of the biggest races in thoroughbred racing. Kentucky Derby, man. Probably, and if you ask me, out of like the 3 Triple Crown races, if you can only win one of those, that's the one you want to win. Because, I mean, especially when you think about the history of that place, the spires of Churchill Downs. I mean, Kentucky Derby. That's history. That's horse racing. That's one of the biggest pieces of thoroughbred racing. Beautiful stuff. All right, sports fans, that's all we got for this week's Friday Roundtable. Again, special thanks to my man Ty Lavalette, and special thanks to Josh and Whitney and everybody here at the studio WTV10. We could not. This is all not possible without you guys. So thank you so much once more. Follow us on Two Guys Talk Sports and other things on Facebook or YouTube, before I mix the things up. So follow us on Two Guys Talk Sports and other things on YouTube, and Two Guys Talk Sports on Facebook for more videos and sports news. And sports fans, me and Tyler, we greatly appreciate your support. Once more, we just want to say thank you. And one more thing I'd like to say before we sign off, I want to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day weekend, and enjoy the beautiful, beautiful Sunday.
Absolutely. It should be a good one.
And with that being said, that's all we got for this week's Friday Roundtable. This is Jake Waxman.
And Tyler Lavalette.
Wishing you all a good Mother's Day weekend, everyone. Bye now.